It's Sunday afternoon at Truist Park in Atlanta, where the New York Mets and Atlanta Braves close out their series. The Mets enter at 68-60, sitting second in the National League East, while the Braves are down at 58-70, fighting through a season where momentum has been hard to hold. The Vegas line sets the Mets as 130 moneyline favorites, and the total stands at 9. Let's take a closer look at the pitching matchup that defines this game. For New York, left-hander David Peterson gets the ball. His 2025 campaign has been steady and reliable, 8 wins, 5 losses, and a sharp 3.18 ERA across 144 innings. His whip of 1.23 shows he limits base traffic, and he's collected 127 strikeouts against 50 walks. Most importantly, his recent road form has been excellent. In his last 3 starts away from home, Peterson has posted an ERA just over 1.20, holding hitters to almost nothing. His heavy ground ball rate neutralizes power, and he's allowing less than 1 home run every 2 games. When Peterson commands the zone, he turns opposing lineups into passengers. On the other side stands Bryce Elder for Atlanta. The numbers tell a different story: a 5-9 record, 6.29 ERA, and a 1.55 whip across 111 innings. His strikeout rate is below league average, his walk rate sits high, and he has a tendency to give up the long ball. Nearly 1.5 home runs per 9 innings. At home, Elder has struggled all season, with results that have consistently left the Braves chasing from behind. When his command falters, opponents feast early, and the bullpen often has to cover heavy innings. The offenses add more weight to the Mets' side. New York has been hot, batting .329 over their past 6 games and scoring 12 runs in Friday's matchup here. Their 168 home runs and 102 stolen bases put them among the league's most balanced threats. Atlanta, while capable, has been inconsistent, and their bullpen hasn't offered the kind of safety net needed when Elder digs an early hole. And remember, it's not about the line. It's about what the line hides. The numbers tell one story, but the fire beneath them tells another. And today's AI pick is Mets Moneyline. The pitching edge with Peterson, the Mets' recent offensive surge, and Elder's struggles at home combine to point our system clearly toward New York. Will we cash or will we burn? Now Game 2.
It's the Nationals and the Phillies. First pitch set for Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Washington drags into this one at 53-75, bottom of the National League East. The Phillies stand in a different place, 74-54, first in the division, building toward October. Vegas has Philadelphia as a heavy favorite at 295 on the money line, 1.5 runs at 138. The Nationals are plus 240 to win outright, with the total set at 9.5. Vegas priced the favorite, but not the fire. Let's burn through the arms that will dictate how this one opens. For Washington, it's Jake Irvin. 26 starts, an ERA of 5.30, a whip of 1.40. His strikeout rate barely clears 15%, while his walk rate hovers near 8%. He's allowing almost 2 home runs every 9 innings. Over his last 6 starts, Irvin has been unraveling. An ERA over 8, a whip near 2, and long balls flying off the bats of anyone who waits him out. He doesn't suppress contact, and when his command wavers, the bullpen inherits mess after mess. Philadelphia turns to Ranger Suarez. In 19 starts, he's dealt a 3.25 ERA with a whip of 1.17. He strikes out nearly 23% of hitters and walks less than 6%. His ground ball rate sits solid at 46%, and he's stingy with the long ball, allowing fewer than 1 per 9 innings. Suarez isn't overpowering, but he's stable, efficient, and he keeps his infield busy. The contrast is violent, Irvin leaking runs, Suarez containing them. But the fire doesn't stop at the mound. Philadelphia's bats are hot, hitting .341 across the past 6 games. Their .258 team average and .328 on-base percentage rank among the league's best. Washington lags behind, bottom third in most categories, and their bullpen carries an ERA over 5.60 across the last month. Combine that with Irvin's collapse and you have fuel stacked high. The Nationals trend 13-4 to the over on the road against winning clubs, and the Phillies are 9-3 to the over at home against division rivals. When the data fractures, it reveals the same fire, runs, and today's AI pick is over 9.5. The bats are too hot, the arms too uneven, and the bullpen's too vulnerable to expect silence. Will we cash or will we burn?
It's Sunday afternoon in Anaheim, where the Chicago Cubs meet the Los Angeles Angels at Angel Stadium. The Cubs enter at 74-55, sitting second in the National League Central. The Angels are 61-67, sliding in the American League West. Vegas has the Cubs lined at 142 on the money line, 1.5 runs at plus 114. The Angels are +120 120 to win outright, +1.5 runs at 137. The total is 9.5. The stage is set and the edges are clear. For Chicago, Jameson Taillon is expected to start. Across 18 outings, he holds an ERA of 4.26 and a WHIP of 1.11. He strikes out nearly 19% of batters, while walking just over 5%. Though he doesn't generate many ground balls, his control limits base traffic and keeps games stable. He's shown steadier form in recent road turns, giving the Cubs a solid chance to build from the mound. On the other side is Kyle Hendricks for Los Angeles. In 24 starts, his ERA stands at 4.93 with a WHIP of 1.30. His strikeout rate sits under 16%, and while he keeps walks down, the contact he allows turns costly. Hendricks has been more vulnerable in Anaheim, with home runs biting him when location drifts. Against a Cubs lineup that has slugged 175 homers this season, mistakes can quickly become damage. Team-wide metrics highlight the gap. The Cubs average nearly 5 runs a game, ranking among the top offenses in baseball. They hold a .249 batting average, balanced slugging, and the third most stolen bases in the league. The Angels, despite ranking near the top in home runs, are weighed down by a .233 team average and one of the highest strikeout totals in the majors. Their bullpen sits near the bottom in save rate and inherited runner control, while the Cubs' relief corps has been steady all season, protecting leads and closing games effectively. And today's AI pick is Cubs 1.5. The pitching edge, bullpen reliability, and lineup balance all point to Chicago, taking this one by margin. Will we cash or will we burn? Anna takes Game 4.
It's Sunday in Phoenix, and the Cincinnati Reds take on the Arizona Diamondbacks at Chase Field. The Reds come in at 67-62, fighting to stay in the National League wildcard race. The Diamondbacks sit at 63-66, hoping to play spoiler. Vegas sets Arizona as a 130 favorite on the money line, with Cincinnati at plus 110. The run line has the Reds 1.5 at 188 and the Diamondbacks 1.5 at 155. The total is 8.5. Vegas made Arizona the favorite, but they forgot the fire in Cincinnati's arm. Let's break down the pitchers who set the stage. For Cincinnati, it's Brady Singer. In 25 starts, he holds an 11-9 record with a 4.18 ERA and 1.30 WHIP. But the surface numbers don't tell the full story. Singer has been excellent in his last 5 starts, going 4-1 with a 1.86 ERA across 29 innings. He keeps the ball down, misses barrels, and his strikeout-to-walk balance has sharpened over the summer. Against Arizona in his career, he's 2-0 with a 2.00 ERA, and earlier this year he held the D-backs to 2 runs over 5 innings. Right now, Singer is pitching with command and confidence. For Arizona, Zach Gallen takes the ball. Once the ace of the staff, he's struggled in 2025, posting a 9.13 record with a 5.28 ERA and 1.33 WHIP across 150 innings. He has been better in August with a 3.52 ERA and 4 starts, showing signs of stabilization. But over the season, he's been hittable, giving up runs in bunches when his fastball command wavers. Against the Reds, Gallen is 1-2 in his career, including a loss in June when Cincinnati tagged him for 4 runs in nearly 7 innings. The matchup tilts toward Cincinnati in several critical areas. The Reds' bullpen has been sharp over the last 10 games, working to a 2.48 ERA, while Arizona's relievers have sat above 4. Cincinnati has played close games all month, losing several by just a run, but their offense has quietly maintained steady production, with a .256 average and a .793 OPS against right-handed pitching over the past 10 days. Arizona brings more home run power, but their lineup has been less efficient against right-handers. And today's AI pick is Reds moneyline. Singer's recent dominance, Cincinnati's bullpen edge and the value in the number make the underdog the right side. Will we cash or will we burn? Rocco takes Game 5.
It's Sunday night baseball at Yankee Stadium, the old rivalry renewed. Red Sox versus Yankees under the lights in the Bronx. Boston enters at 71-59, second in the American League East, chasing October. New York sits at 69-60, fighting for a wild card spot. Vegas lines the Yankees as 168 favorites on the money line, with Boston at plus 142 as underdogs. The spread has New York 1.5 runs at plus 115, Boston plus 1.5 at 138, and the total is set at 8.5. Vegas set the line, but the rivalry burns beyond numbers. Let's start with the arms. For Boston, Dustin May gets the ball. Across nearly 120 innings, he's worked to a 7-9 record with a 4.59 ERA and a 1.34 WHIP. The raw stuff is there, over 100 strikeouts, but the consistency has not been. Opponents are making hard contact, his expected ERA hovers higher, and when he leaves pitches over the plate, runs pile up quickly. May has talent, but tonight he'll be tasked with navigating the most powerful lineup in baseball in one of the toughest parks to pitch in. On the other side, Carlos Rodon takes the hill for New York. A 13-7 record with a 3.24 ERA and a 1.07 WHIP across more than 150 innings tells the story of steadiness. He's racked up 169 strikeouts, holding opponents to a 229 average. The metrics point to dominance, a 207 expected batting average against, a strikeout rate over 31%, and the kind of presence that can lock down innings against any order. Rodon is the ace, the stabilizer in a season where the Yankees have leaned on power more than pitching. And about that power, New York leads all of baseball in home runs with 2-10, slugging .451 as a team. Judge, Stanton, Bellinger, they stretch a lineup that can hurt you from top to bottom. Boston answers with depth and balance, Alex Bregman, Roman Anthony, Jarren Duran, Trevor Story, all contributing to a team that ranks fourth in the league in runs scored and has plated 35 over their last 7 games. When these two collide, sparks tend to fly. And today's AI pick is over 8.5. Two lineups built to score, a park that plays small when the ball is lifted, and a rivalry that rarely stays quiet. The bats are too hot and the stakes too high to expect a low total here. Will we cash or will we burn? Lilith takes the recap.
5 games, 5 glyphs burned into the book. Let's count them down. Game 1 in Atlanta, the Mets over the Braves. Our system rode David Peterson and the bats that are red hot. The pick was Mets money line. Game 2 in Philadelphia, Nationals and Phillies. Jake Irvin crumbled, Ranger Suarez steadied, and the bats stayed loud. The pick was over 9.5. Game 3 in Anaheim, Cubs and Angels. Jameson Tylon against Kyle Hendricks, and the balance tipped Chicago's way. The pick was Cubs minus 1.5. Game 4 in Phoenix, Reds against Diamondbacks. Brady Singer in form, Zach Gallen fading. The pick was Reds money line. Game 5 in the Bronx, Red Sox and Yankees. Rivalry fire, bats too hot, and pitchers forced to bend. The pick was over 8.5. 5 partidos, 5 elecciones del sistema. Juego 1 en Atlanta. Mets sobre los Bravos. La selección fue Mets línea de dinero. Juego 2 en Filadelfia. Nacionales y Phillies. El pick fue más de 9.5. Juego 3 en Anaheim. Cachorros contra Angelinos. La selección fue Cachorros menos 1.5. Juego 4 en Phoenix. Rojos contra Diamondbacks. La selección fue Rojos línea de dinero. Juego 5 en el Bronx, Medias Rojas y Yankees. El pick fue más de 8.5. Like and subscribe. Will we cash or will we burn? Und der alte Satz flüstert im Dunkel, wer nicht wagt, der nicht gewinnt. The old saying whispers in the dark, nothing ventured, nothing gained.